let's talk about a little bit about the entrepreneurship part, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I suppose in the engineering line, you there's progress, there's progression, and you get a steady income and all that. When you switch to become an entrepreneur, I suppose there were a lot of fears and there were a lot of question marks in your mind and all that. What were those fears, and actually how did you overcome them, or at least manage them?
Actually, Anthony Robbins has said something, and that I mean, I remember until today. He said, human beings, and I think it's a bit simplistic now, but it does explain a lot of things. Anthony Robbins said that human beings will do things out of two reasons. Okay, the first is the pursuit of pleasure. We do things because we enjoy it, we like it, right? We eat durian because we like it. Some of us don't eat durian because we don't
Like
like
it.
it. And the second reason why we do things, the first is of course the pursuit of pleasure. The second is the avoidance of pain. Okay, so some of us eat durian because we love durian. Some of us avoid durian because we hate durian. So
Mm-hmm.
same thing. And what happened was, as an engineer, I saw what's happening around me. Kids are getting totally lost. Nobody's helping them. And what happens is I slowly became, well, dead at work. Actually,
Wow.
I no. You see, when I started as an engineer in
Mm-hmm.
2002, I mean, I was so excited. I was doing great work, and I was, when my first company changed management, the first thing the new director did was to go up to the security guard
Mm-hmm.
house in front of the company and ask the guy, so who's the most hardworking person in this company? This company was about 70 over people back then.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy was like, "Oh, no doubt. This guy, his name is Edmond, and he's the most helpful
Uh,
guy in there." Because no, literally, I didn't care about time. I sometimes coming up back
Late at
from
night.
construction sites late at night, even 1, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll be there just to get ready for the next day. And so I was tremendously hardworking. Well, what happened is along the way, right? Um, I saw people like John. I saw a lot of things. I saw how much corruption we had in our country as well. In that almost every single contract that we had to actually do under table stuff, and I was totally sick and tired of all that.
Okay.
And so I slowly became very unhappy at work, and I there's that. It's not that sharp pain that you get when if you accidentally injure yourself. It's that slow, dull, long-term thing that you're like, what am I doing here? What's the point of all this? And really, surely enough, I was working as an engineer for 5 years. My third year onwards, I slowly became
Lethargic.
bored, lethargic, dull. I'd be going to the office like I'd
Walking
be checking.
Dead.
Yes, like The Walking Dead. I'd be I mean I go to work and the first thing I'll do is check my Facebook and I go to work late, by the way. Go work late, check Facebook, check email. Next thing you know, oh, lunchtime, and go for lunch. And coming from lunch, and guess what? Sleepy, and check Facebook even more. And it was just totally dull.
Mundane.
And so when you ask me about the transition between being engineer to really doing my own thing and being an entrepreneur, I think I was more afraid of continuing the way I am,
Okay.
of being totally bored at work, of having a totally meaningless life, not achieving anything. I was actually afraid of my future. So what happened was it got to a point where I was so afraid of my future that I was so bored at work, so dull at work that really I think I had no choice but to actually change, to do something about it. Otherwise, I'd be miserable. So really, I think I was lucky enough to become miserable. So some people never become miserable enough to make that change. So I became miserable enough, and I left. I left. I joined at first. When I left engineering, I joined a company called Dale Carnegie.
Oh,
So
okay,
it
I
was
know that.
yeah, yeah. The guy wrote this book called How to Win
Yeah,
Friends
yeah,
and
yeah.
Influence People. It's a
Yeah.
training company.
Yeah,
They have
yeah.
franchises all around, including Singapore.
Yes.
And so I joined him for a year, and after that, I just set up my own training company, doing corporate training. I didn't do very well, by the way, because there's just so much to learn. I was an engineer, and now suddenly, about 13 months later, I'm my own boss. I'm running my own training company, and really, we never made money. We did. I mean, we survived, but That's all we did.
Mm-hmm.
Until, of course, I stumbled upon the idea of EduNation, and when I saw it online, and when I saw the Khan Academy on TED.com, I knew we had to have this here, and it's everything's history since then, lah.